What's up, everybody? Alright, Daytona 500. NASCAR's officially back. I know we had duels last night, but, they were duels. They were not a real slate. I mean, they were a slate, but nothing real special. So here we are. This is the first real slate of the season. This is only a video that I'm really going to be able to make this week for all three series because qualifying is just a few hours before the Xfinity race and a truck race, but I will be doing a live stream for both. So if you're watching this before the truck race or the Xfinity race, make sure to tune into those. Truck series live stream will be tonight, Friday at 6:30. Xfinity one will be Saturday at 1:30, and then the Cup Series live stream will be Saturday or Sunday at 1. So that's when I'm doing the live streams for all the races. If you want to, if you're not gonna be able to make them, or you want to be reminded when the live stream is going to be, make sure to hit that notification bell, or you can just follow me on Twitter. I'll be announcing it then as well. I'll put the link for my Twitter down below. It's just @NateLand_ on Twitter. So be sure to go follow me there. You can ask me questions, line-up questions, any of that over there as well. I will answer. But that's really it. Let's get in to Daytona 500. It's pretty much going to be the same as, every single plate race ever. It's just stack to back. It's simple as that. You're going to want to play guys from the back. I'm not going to want to play guys up front. And, every year it's like more and more people catch on to it, but people are still playing guys up front. The pole sitter still gets 20% ownership every single plate race. I'll never understand that. So, I'm not playing any guys in the top 10. Now, if you're trying to hit an optimal lineup, yeah, you're probably going to need one guy in the top 10, but an optimal lineup does not often win one of these plate race slates. It's usually guys starting in the back because it's so hard to hit an optimal lineup in a plate race anyway. So, just stack to back. I'm not playing anybody starting inside the top 10. I'm focusing heavily on guys starting 30th to 40th, really 25th to 40th. I want to be able to get different. We'll go through all drivers, though. Denny Hamlin's going to be the most popular driver in the slate, more than likely. He's the favorite for a reason. He's the most expensive driver for a reason. He is the best plate racer in NASCAR right now. Didn't win one last year, but, was still very good in those races, just never came out on top. Was the best car in the 500 last year. I forgot what happened, but he got back in the pack a little bit. I don't know if it was pit penalty, some issues. I don't really remember exactly what happened, but I know he didn't win that race, but he was the best car. So he's going to be popular. He's going to be owned. I don't have any issue playing him. Now, if you want to be bold, you can fade Denny Hamlin because it is a plate race. Anyone is just as likely to get in an accident in this race. So, there's definitely reasons to fade him and just get different because there are going to be guys that are starting towards the back that are not going to get a ton of ownership. So I do like Denny Hamlin here, but he is going to be really highly owned. If you want to go somewhere else, I don't really hate that. Just be prepared. He probably has the highest ceiling out of all the guys starting in the back, but he has to avoid wrecks to hit that ceiling. So Chase Elliott starting 11th. I'm fine with that. I don't want to play all guys starting, 25th on back. I want a little bit more up front, a little bit, maybe just get a little bit different, or because, it's just not all the guys starting in the back are going to be optimal. So I'm okay playing Chase Elliott. Very limited ownership for me there, though, but if you want to get, a lineup of Chase Elliott in there, I think that is fine. Kyle Larson starts on the pole. I'm going to fade him. Just no point in playing him, in my opinion. Really going to only go backwards. Ryan Blaney starting 7th. If you were going to play someone inside the top 10, I think Blaney's the guy to go with. He's right on that same tier, in my opinion, as Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano when it comes to plate racers. So, I do not mind going to him at all. Joey Logano starting 20th. I assume will get a lot of ownership. Although he does kind of have a bad taste in people's mouth after last night's dual race where he wrecked on the last, including me, who had a bet on Logano to win. So I knew it was going to happen. All the time I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, he's definitely going to lose this race. He's probably going to throw a block, and that's exactly what happened. So, but still, starting 20th, one of the best plate racers in NASCAR. I definitely like going there. Kyle Busch starting 10th, just not too interested. William Byron starting 23rd. Look, he's proved himself the last few years to be one of the better plate racers in NASCAR. Has a lot of upside starting 23rd. Kevin Harvick, same thing, starting 22nd. Like going both these guys, does not matter for me. Kurt Busch starting 17th. It's fine by me as well. You want to get him into your lineups. Martin Truex Jr. has been kind of bad at plate races. He finds ways to get in every single wreck of them, but starting 14th gives you a little bit of upside there. Alex Bowman starting 2nd, not interested at all. Austin Dillon's, I think there's four guys that are going to just be ultra chalk this race, and Austin Dillon's one of them. Denny Hamlin's one, Austin Dillon's one. He's won Daytona this race before. That's going to drive up his ownership anyway, no matter where he's starting. But starting 36, Just looks like one of the best place differential plays on the slate. Don't have any issues going there. He's going to be high owned for a reason. So, I mean, again, if you want to try to get different, there's definitely ways to get different, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. But I still like Austin Dillon. Bubba Wallace starts 16th. It's fine play. Keep him in your pool. Brad Keselowski, I think, has a very good chance of winning this race, but I still don't want to play him starting third. I mean, there's a real chance he can win without even being optimal. Eric Almirola is another one of the 4 guys I think is going to be ridiculously highly owned. Another guy is just known for being a really good plate racer. There's only 2 wins around plate races, almost won Daytona 500 a few years ago, so really like that. He's going to be really highly owned, but for a good reason. So, I don't really mind if you want to go somewhere else with that, but, I mean, I'm just letting you know that's how it's going to be. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. starting 18th. It's fine play to keep in your pool. Don't have any issues there. I'm not going to play Chris Buescher starting 4th. Looked really good in the duels yesterday, but obviously he won. But I still just starting too high for me to be interested for DFS. Tyler Reddick starting 15th and Bell starting 12th. Like them both. Keep them in your pool. Probably wouldn't be too highly owned on them, but to sprinkle them in some lineups, I think for sure is something worth it. Austin Cindric starting 5th. Not interested. I think Justin Haley is going to be a good. This is where we start to kind of get guys that may not be as highly owned. Haley will probably get some good ownership because he is known for being a really good plate racer. But still, I don't think he'll be as highly owned as guys like Almirola and Austin Dillon. So I like owning Justin Haley starting 25th. I mean, he doesn't have a win in the Xfinity Series. It's not at a plate race. He was by far the best guy in that series. I don't expect him to come out here and just light the world on fire in the Cup Series because there's some really good plate racers in the Cup Series. But he should be able to hold his own, run up towards the front. He'll get a win there eventually, at one of these tracks eventually, I think. So, like Justin Haley. Michael McDowell starts too high. I'm not going to play him. Daniel Hemrick's another guy that may not get as much ownership as he should get. I'm sure he'll get a good amount, but he's not going to get as much as Austin Dillon or Eric Almirola or Denny Hamlin. So, he's in a quality car. Really good equipment. Starting 33rd. We've seen him run well at the plate races in the Xfinity Series. Again, it doesn't really matter. He just offers you so much place differential, and he's not going to be that highly owned. That makes him a good tournament play, in my opinion. I mean, he's going to get ownership. He's not going to be like no ownership at all, but compared to like Austin Dillon, Eric Almirola, I don't think he'll have as much. Chase Briscoe starting 9th. I'm not going to be too interested. I'm fine with Ross Chastain starting 19th. Seems like a guy to keep in your pool. Cole Custer is another guy. I don't think anyone will play him. No one likes Cole Custer. No one wants to play Cole Custer, and I mean, I get it. So I don't think Cole Custer is going to get any ownership. He's going to get some because he starts 31st, but compared to some of these other guys, I don't think he's going to get any. I think he'll get less than Hemrick, honestly. People would rather play Daniel Hemrick than Cole Custer. But he's starting 31st. He's in a Ford, which has been the dominant car pretty much all week outside of qualifying, but whatever. Ford has just been so good historically in the plate races. So seeing him finishing up in the top 5 is just is something I could definitely see happening. So I'm completely fine going to Cole Custer this week. I don't really care. Again, it's really all about positions, starting lineups. Greg Biffle will probably get some ownership because he's Greg Biffle and people love him. That's fine, keep him in your pool. I like him starting 28th. Seems like a decent play. Harrison Burton starting 8th. I'm not going to be interested. Eric Jones, someone just to keep in your pool. Probably wouldn't play a ton of him, but keep him in there. Daniel Suarez starting 21st. I'm fine going there. He's known for wrecking in his last 9 plate or was it either Daytona races or plate race in general? I don't know. I think it's Daytona races. So he'll probably wreck again. But it's still Daytona. Anyone can wreck. Anything can happen. Landon Castle in the Spire car. I mean, I'm fine with that. He's good enough driver to ride around there. I don't think he'll get a ton of ownership. This is a guy to pivot off of some of the other guys. So I like going to Castle. Corey LaJoie will probably get ownership because he always gets talked about Daytona, but I'm fine with that. Someone to keep in your pool, play a good amount of, won't be too highly owned. And then Noah Gragson's the 4th guy I think is going to get a ton of ownership. I mean, look, everyone already loves to play Noah Gragson in the DFS world. He's one of the biggest up-and-coming names. He's never made a Cup start, but in the Xfinity Series, he hasn't won at Daytona before, and he's usually runs up towards the front in the plate races and is contending for the wins there. So he's in a Beard Motorsports car, which is the car Brendan Gaughan used to drive if you were doing NASCAR DFS back then. You know who Brendan Gaughan is. This is a good car. I mean, it's going to be able to run in the pack, run towards the front probably. Noah Gragson's going to be popular. I think it's for a good reason. He's really cheap. He's starting 39th. But once again, there's definitely ways to pivot. And we're really about all the pivots right now. Because these are the guys that no one wants to play. No one wants to sit there and... Maybe Ty Dillon might be okay. But Ty Dillon... Okay, let's talk about Ty Dillon first. Ty Dillon has historically done really well at Daytona. He just finishes well here. He'll get some ownership. He's in the GMS car. I'm really interested to see how these cars are this year, the GMS Petty team. They look good at the Clash, but, I mean, that's the Clash. So, Ty Dillon, starting 26, he can run inside that top 10, and I don't think he's going to get too much ownership. So I like that as a good pivot. Some of these other popular guys, and then here are the guys no one wants to play. I mean, David Reagan is a name, but he's in the number 15 car for Rick Ware, and that car just has a bad connotation on it already. No one likes to play Rick Ware racing cars, understandably. So, but David Reagan's 2 wins have been plate races, one at Daytona, one at Talladega. This Rick Ware racing team this year has Stuart Haas like alliance with them, so this team equipment is better than it's been. They're gonna be able to run with the pack, like for sure. And David Reagan is someone who, I mean, I have more faith in Reagan than Cody Ware, who we'll talk about in a second. But he's not going to get a ton of ownership. And because everyone's going to play Noah Gragson. I'm telling you, everyone's going to look at the cheap guys and go, Noah Gragson. Because he's the easy guy to play. Starting 39, he's a name we all know. You know, he's in a car that is more notable than all these cars. So that's where people are going to go. Kaz Grala starting the first race for the money team, barely got in last night. I still honestly don't even know how he got in because Fox didn't even show it. But, hey, Kaz Grala, I mean, starting 35th. You know, he's known for being a really good plate racer. We see him do well in college last year. We see him do well in other series. He's won a truck race at Daytona. So Kaz Grala, I mean, if he can hang with the pack, I think it's going to be a good play. He'll probably get a somewhat ownership down here, but not a lot. Like, not a lot. But, I mean, because he's Kaz Grala, he's a name people know. But these are the guys that no one's playing. No one's playing Cody Ware this week. Starting 32nd, no one's going to play him. I mean, he's Cody Ware. No one likes him already. He's for Rick Ware Racing. But I'm telling you, these cars can hang with the pack. They're not going to be just 5 or 6 laps down. At least that's what I think. That's in my opinion. So no one's going to play him. Going to be low owned starting 32nd. Todd Gilliland, no one's going to play him. Todd Gilliland has 0 expectations coming into the series. Coming straight from the truck series. Never even raced an Xfinity race. Going to Cup. But starting 29th, he offers you place differential. I just don't hate it. I don't think people are going to be on him. Jacques Villeneuve, former Formula 1 champ. I think he ran some IndyCar too or something like that. But, you know, an all-time just great driver, just not a NASCAR driver. I think he's done a few NASCAR starts a while ago. You know, this is not a car that people know. This is not a car that people are going to be talking about. But starting dead last, he has the highest ceiling in the entire slate. Honestly, I mean, he has most places he can move up. I know in the duels yesterday he had some like mechanical issues, but they're going to get it fixed. No worries there. I don't think the car's going to break down on lap 5 again. Good thing it happened then and not for the race, because now you know what the problem is. They were fast in qualifying. So I like Jacques Villeneuve. No one's going to play him, but get there. BJ McLeod. No one's going to play him. It's BJ McLeod. No one wants to play BJ McLeod. BJ McLeod had a top 10 at Daytona last year. These cars, yeah, they may not be, you know, you might not see them at the front, but I mean, you're stacking it back. It's going to be a wreck fest. There's going to be wrecks. That's what you're betting on. And these are the guys that, you know, advance spots for it. Where some of these other guys, Harrison Burton starting 8th, gets in a wreck and finishes 25th, he's going to have negative points. BJ McLeod just finishes 20th. That's plus 17 more points. So that's where you're just looking at the place differential. And then lastly, what was I going to say? Crap. Oh, you don't need to worry about salary. This is how you got to be. To be different this week is leave salary on the table. People always want to spend all their salary. It's understandable. But most optimal lineups, most past winners, they do not spend all the salary. Like, if you wanted to make a lineup with let's see, Grala, Villeneuve, Gragson as your core 3, and then Austin Dillon, and leave a ton of salary left over, I think it's a really good lineup. So, no worries about that. When it comes to sports betting, now if you've looked at DraftKings, you pretty much use DraftKings for sports betting, sportsbook. They've added a ton of new things this year. They're continuing to do driver matches, but they also have like specials and parlays and stuff that you can go with. I'm not doing any of that for Daytona because it's Daytona and it's the most unpredictable race. But going in the future, I will start talking about sports betting on these videos. However, I am doing some outright bets. These are my outright bets. Betting on William Byron because, here, I'm going to sort these by odds, actually, real quick. Let's see. These are my bets. We got Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, plus 1,000. I'd like him as a outright winner. I'd like Joey Logano at plus 1,200 as a winner. I like Keselowski at 1,400 as a winner. It's William Byron. William Byron at plus 1,500 is one of my bets. Honestly, I don't feel as confident in him, but he's my favorite driver, so it's Daytona. We're rocking with him. And I'm really liking Chris Buescher, man. I'm liking Buescher or Almirola, because the Fords look so strong right now, so I want to bet another Ford. And Buescher won the duel. I think a lot of people are probably going to be on him. Maybe not Eric Almirola, though. He's had more success these plate races. I know Buescher usually finishes well, but Almirola's won at them. And I know one of them was a range run race, but he legitimately won a Talladega race a few years ago, and he was in the lead on back straightaway a few years ago at Daytona 500, and Austin Dillon wrecked him. So I don't mind this bet at all. It'd be a storybook thing for him. I like the Fords. Those are the guys I really want to bet. We can just go through the Fords. I can talk about them real quick. I already said like Blaney, one of the best plate racers. Blaney, Logano, Keselowski. Those are three to top four plate racers in my opinion in NASCAR right now, and then Hamlin's probably the other one, or is the other one. So those guys are on a whole nother level when it comes to plate racing. Let's keep going with Fords. I like Kevin Harvick. He's won Daytona 500 before. He's always in the mix in these plate races too. So betting Kevin Harvick does not seem like a bad bet at all to me. Eric Almirola we just talked about. Chris Buescher we just talked about. Cindric, I just have a hard time seeing him win in his first. Well, I guess it's not. He ran this race last year. I mean, gosh, what a start to a rookie season that would be if Cindric pulled that off. I mean, I just don't see it. Michael McDowell, it's so hard going 2 years in a row. Chase Briscoe, again, like, his first win being at Daytona would be something. He's never really been an elite plate racer. He's always been good. He's always been in the mix. I don't mind it, but I wouldn't go there. Harrison Burton, he's been fast this week, to be honest. But, I mean, what the hell is going on? But I still just don't feel that confident in him. If you want to go there, I think it's fine. A guy I don't mind is Cole Custer. It's plus 7,000 for Cole Custer in a stupid Haas car. Like, he's around guys he should not be around. And I know it's Cole Custer. We don't really expect him to win, but he could be up there towards the front. A long shot bet I think is definitely warranted is Cole Custer. And then let's look at some other long shots. I think these are the two I'd like as a long shot. Gragson and Ty Dillon. Ty Dillon's ran very well in the Cup Series in the past at plate races. He's plus 10,000. So is Noah Gragson. This is Noah Gragson's first start, but we've seen him be very aggressive. I don't assume he's going to go out there and just ride around. Like, he's going to go try to win this race. And he's been, very aggressive in the Xfinity Series. I could see things breaking right for both these two at the very end of a race and then pulling out a win. Those are my long shots, though. Don't put a lot of money on them, obviously, but that's how I'm kind of feeling about sports betting, as my laptop just decided to be really stupid, so that's fun. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Leave a comment below. And good luck this weekend. Be sure to tune in for all the live streams.